When the power goes out and stays out, what skill actually saves you first? It's not about gear, it's about your mindset. I've been in some of the harshest places on earth, and the real difference between life and death is your training and mental readiness. These skills aren't just theory, they're proven by FEMA, the Red Cross, and real disaster case studies. It's not about being a lone wolf, it's about keeping yourself and your loved ones safe when everything you rely on disappears. We'll break down the 7 core skills that form the foundation of resilience no matter where you live. Let's get into it. Before you filter water or build a shelter, situational awareness is your first line of defense. It's not paranoia, it's being present and alert. In disasters, those who notice early signs, like rising water or unusual crowds, make life-saving decisions. Know your baseline. What's normal in your neighborhood? Notice when something's off. Your senses are your best tools. Listen for sirens, smell for gas, watch for changes. Don't get lost in your phone. Look up and scan your environment. Practice the OODA loop. Observe, orient, decide, act. Make awareness a habit. Locate exits, watch traffic, notice details. In a crisis, your instincts take over. Train them now. Awareness isn't just about danger, it's about spotting opportunities and resources others miss. Start training today. Put the phone down, engage with your surroundings, and analyze what's happening. This is the foundation of all survival skills. Without it, you're always one step behind. In a crisis, that can be the difference between safety and disaster. Stay alert, stay ahead. Your awareness is your shield. Build it every day. It could save your life. When disaster strikes, you might be the only first responder. Emergency services could be overwhelmed or unreachable. Knowing how to stop bleeding, treat shock, and handle basic injuries is essential. Learn to use a tourniquet. Practice with real gear, not just a belt. Master trauma care basics. Apply pressure, pack wounds, use pressure dressings, recognize and treat shock, keep the person warm, calm, and elevate their legs. Infection is a silent killer. Clean wounds properly and monitor for signs. Your first aid kit should have more than bandages, include trauma shears, tourniquets, chest seals, and sterile gauze. But gear is useless without training. Take a Stop the Bleed course and get certified in first aid and CPR. In a disaster, your calm action can save lives. Be the person who knows what to do. Your knowledge turns you from a victim into a rescuer. In a crisis, that's real power. Take responsibility for your safety and your community. Learn, practice, and be ready. Fire is your lifeline. Warmth, clean water, cooked food, and hope. In wet conditions, making fire is tough but vital. Always carry multiple fire starters, lighters, waterproof matches, and a ferro rod. Practice using your ferro rod. It works even when wet. Bring your own tinder, cotton balls with petroleum jelly or dryer lint. Building fire in the wet is slow, but when it finally roars to life, it's worth every effort. You can survive weeks without food, but only days without water. When the taps run dry, finding and purifying water is your top priority. Start at home. Your hot water tank, toilet tank, not bowl, and freezer ice are emergency sources. Rainwater in clean containers is excellent. Outside, assume all water is contaminated. Never drink untreated water. In the wild, even clear streams can carry deadly pathogens. The gold standard, bring water to a rolling boil for at least 1 minute, 3 at high altitudes. Boiling kills almost all bacteria, viruses, and protozoa. Portable filters like Life Straw or Sawyer Squeeze are game changers. Carry one in your kit. Most filters don't remove viruses. Use purification tablets as a backup. Combine filtering and tablets for full protection. In the wild, look for green plants, animal tracks, or dig in dry riverbeds for water. In the city, collect rainwater or look for downspouts, but always purify. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Sip water regularly. Dehydration impairs judgment and can be fatal. Master finding, filtering, and purifying water. It's a fundamental survival skill. Have a plan and practice it. Your life depends on it. Water is survival. Hypothermia can kill even in mild weather if you're wet and exposed. In a grid-down scenario, your home can become dangerously cold. Shelter is about one thing: protecting your core body temperature. Your body loses heat through radiation, convection, conduction, evaporation, and respiration. A good shelter traps heat and blocks the elements. At home, close off rooms, hang blankets, and create a tent within a room to conserve warmth. If you must evacuate, a car is only temporary shelter. Insulate yourself from the cold ground. A tarp is versatile. Learn basic knots and shelter shapes like the A-frame or lean-to. Pitch shelters low and face the back into the wind. Insulate from the ground with leaves, pine boughs, or debris at least 6 inches thick. A space blanket helps but isn't enough alone. No tarp? Build a debris hut. Pile on leaves and grass. Make the entrance small and seal it tight. Watch for early hypothermia signs: shivering, clumsiness, confusion. If you start shivering, stop and get warm immediately. Preventing hypothermia is easier than treating it. Shelter is life. Make it your priority. Know how to build it anywhere. Stay warm, stay alive. Water comes first, but food keeps you strong in a prolonged emergency. A smart food plan is about strategy, not hoarding. Start with your pantry. Stock non-perishables your family eats and rotate them. Aim for at least 2 weeks' supply. A month is better. During outages, eat perishables first, then freezer food, then shelf-stable items. A camp stove or grill is critical for cooking when the power's out. Freeze-dried meals are lightweight, last decades, and only need hot water. Canned goods, rice, beans, and peanut butter are staples. Focus on calories, protein, and fat. Foraging is risky. Never eat a plant unless you're 100% sure it's safe. Learn to identify a few local edibles before disaster strikes. Hunting and trapping require skill and practice. Don't rely on them as a beginner. Layer your food plan: perishables, pantry staples, long-term storage, and wild foods as a supplement. Practice your plan. Don't wait for a crisis to try it. A well-fed survivor is a resilient survivor. Plan, prepare, and practice. Food is energy and morale. Keep your mind sharp and your body fueled. Your food plan is your safety net. Don't leave it to chance. Be ready. When the grid goes down, GPS and cell phones can vanish, leaving you isolated. Knowing how to communicate and navigate without tech is critical. An emergency radio, hand crank or solar-powered, keeps you connected to weather and emergency alerts. Walkie-talkies work for short-range family communication. For longer range, get a ham radio license. Amateur radio is a lifeline in disasters. Ham operators relay messages when all else fails. Join this network for real resilience. If you need to move, know how to use a map and compass. Practice reading topographical maps and taking bearings. Plan evacuation routes, primary, secondary, and backup, marked on physical maps. Don't rely on main highways, no back roads and trails. Practice navigating without your phone. Try it on local hikes. Communication and navigation skills keep you connected and on course. You'll never be truly lost or cut off. These skills are your backup when tech fails. Learn them now, not during a crisis. Self-reliance starts here. We've covered a lot, but remember, survival is about skills, not just gear. Tools are useless without practice. Pick one skill this week. Learn to use a map, take a first aid class, or build a fire. Start building real capability now. Your family's safety depends on it. The confidence you gain will last longer than any battery. Be an asset to your family and community. Stay safe, stay prepared, and never stop learning.